た噂のシャープツインファミコン。1台でカセットとディスクの両方が楽しめる。ビデオ端子につなげるから画面もくっきり。シャープツインファミコン。
The twin Famicom is not something most American gamers are likely to be familiar with. You might recognize the Famicom in the title, of course, as that was the precursor to the Nintendo Entertainment System that reached American shores in 1985. What makes this Famicom twin, however, was the integration of a disk drive capable of reading the disk cards released for the Famicom Disk System that introduced the world to the likes of Metroid and The Legend of Zelda. The slot on the top accepts traditional Famicom carts, and thanks to the inclusion of AV ports on the back, it's a much easier way to play said games on modern displays, as the original device only had RF out. You can use an adapter to play North American NES games on this system, since the base hardware is virtually the same. Flipping this switch locks out the cartridge slot and turns the console's attention to the floppy drive, letting you fire up any of the games you might have on disk. Having everything in one device is quite a bit more convenient than the original setup, which saw the disk drive as a separate device that connected to the bottom of the Famicom, much like a Sega CD to a Genesis, using a RAM adapter plugged into the cartridge slot to send data to be processed by the main system. Even though that adapter's necessity is negated by our all-in-one option here, it's quite critical in getting a neat little device to work properly, the FDS Stick. This little bad boy works almost like a tiny EverDrive with some onboard storage to store the disk-based games. You can plug it in via USB to any Windows PC and use the custom loader program to pile on the disk images, which will come up in a convenient list if you boot the twin Famicom while the other side of the device is connected to the RAM adapter's data cable. Very handy for firing up English translations or other hacks on this genuine hardware. If you need to flip the virtual disk to side B, just tap the button twice and consider it flipped. Another feature in this software is the ability to load a disk image directly into the RAM adapter, bypassing the storage completely. This is a function I find interesting, as I think it might be useful for teaching myself how to program for the Famicom someday and push my programs directly to the system. This middle tab allows you to read to and write from the disk loaded in the drive, however, that didn't really work for me. I'm guessing it might be down to the twin Famicom's blockout of the disk drive when a cartridge is inserted, so it'd be a unique problem for the unique hardware. There are schematics for a more direct connection that you can make using a modified GameCube video cable, plugging it into port C on the bottom of the system, but that's beyond my current ability. I'll have to try that sometime in the future. Ultimately, it's a neat little bit of kit that'll definitely help prevent wear and tear on the floppy drive over the years to come, while still giving me the experience of playing games on this lovely bit of hardware where the controls are hardwired and player 2 doesn't get select or start buttons. Got any fond memories of the Famicom or its discs? Have you used an FDS stick? I'll leave a link to the website where you can buy one in the description if you haven't, but if you just want to contribute to the conversation, feel free to do so in the comments here or on Twitter at TesseractUnfold. Meanwhile, please like, subscribe, spread the word, and I'll see you again next week.